you. Right, enough another shouting. Let's pretend we're a sensible programme. Please, will you welcome my first guests onto the programme tonight, Colin Andrews, Peter Brookesmith, and the fantastic Reg Presley! We're going to go into a rendition of the Trogs hits a little later. Wild Thing! Thank you, that's enough.
I still remember.
I know, it's amazing. It's amazing. And of course, Reg, the most successful person for not having performed one of his own songs on a film. And I suppose when Wet 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 were sort of young, in twinkle in their mum and dad's eyes, you were actually on stage doing it, weren't you?
That's right, we were doing it on stage.
And in the
What
dressing room.
are you on about?
Yes, and in the dressing room, I suppose, as well. I know what that was like back in the 60s. I've heard. Anyway, Rich, we're not talking about that tonight. What we're talking about tonight, few weeks ago, a week or so ago, you may well have seen a documentary on Channel 4 about an alien that was dissected. Well, maybe actually I should talk to Peter first of all, because Peter, you've looked at this as well. I looked at it. And quite frank, I mean, I wasn't actually convinced this was a being from another planet. I don't know why. I mean, we saw the eyeballs being taken out, the brain cut out and everything else, but I still didn't feel it was right. Tell me about the film.
I didn't believe, well, I don't know whether the body is a model, some mutation that died and somebody borrowed, or it's a real alien. You can't tell that from the film. You just can't tell. If it's a recent...
This is actually, while we're talking, look, we've got the picture up there. That's it. It's been in the papers. It's quite gruesome, that particular, but go on, tell me.
If the film is a recent fake,
yeah,
which I would lay my money on, then there's nothing that a special effects man couldn't do that you saw in the film.
But they said they've taken the film and had it authenticated. That it was taken in 1945.
Yeah.
47.
47.
Right.
Well, all that you know is that the film stock on which the film is actually shot is from 1947. That doesn't mean to say that the images on it are of that vintage.
Do you want to believe this? You presumably, Peter, I mean, you're the former editor of The Unexplained and the author of UFO. You want to, I mean, I believe vehemently there must be life on other planets. There can't not be.
Somewhere out there probably is, yeah.
But couldn't, the whole thing is that this, and we've got a few other, we might flash the picture up again, and of course the whole thing is that they're selling the video of this film now, and we're all talking about it and explain, but everyone's going to go out and buy it.
Somebody's counting up some dollar signs.
But could it be?
Could it be real?
Yes.
There's nothing in the film to tell you that the alien body isn't real. My doubts arise about the way that the thing is actually filmed. I don't know enough about pathology to know whether that is actually the way that a pathologist would start chopping up a body, for example. But I find it very strange that there is only one handheld camera that is not always in focus, recording this what ought to be earth-shattering event. I would have said that if it was going to be done properly, it would be done with at least 4 cameras shooting every angle, probably a surgical artist, and certainly a stills man. Then the set is very curious. You have this kind of schoolroom clock that says 10 past 10, 20 past 10, 20 to 11.
Just happened to be on the wall.
Just happened to be on the wall. There's a safe in the corner, a half-open safe. Can I just finish the point? And then there's a telephone. All of these things are extremely unsterile.
But you wouldn't, I mean, as far as I know, I'm not no medical expert, but in a mortuary and we're doing an autopsy, I mean, you're not particularly worried about the sterility of it unless you're really wanting to keep bugs or whatever it might be. Mind you, that's a point, I suppose.
But the point is, this thing has come from outer space. You don't know that it isn't going to do a John Hurt on you and spring out and mess up your breakfast cereal, do you?
No, that's a very good, good point.
I mean, the washing up after that is really unpleasant.
Colin, let me just bring in, before we go to that, let me bring in Colin, because time will, of course, will rush out before we finish. Colin, you are the co-author of the Crop Circle Bible Circular Evidence. Do you believe, I mean, you want to believe it?
I don't want to believe actually anything. I'm a researcher, I'm a whole-time researcher. Reg Presley, you know, it's a close friend of mine.
I'll introduce Reg in a few minutes. It's my programme.
Oh, sure.
You get on and answer the question I've asked you.
No, I'm going to.
Right.
I'm absolutely going to.
You're thinking for things to say. You're fighting for time.
No, I'm not.
Get to the point.
Not at all. Right. As far as the material is concerned, I've seen all of the footage, which I don't believe anybody in the studio has, apart from Reg Presley, is what I was going to say. We are looking here at, clearly in my opinion, a body. Now, in the opinion of this government's leading forensic pathologist, Dr. Milroy in Sheffield University, he believes that too. I've sat through the whole footage with other medical experts. They believe that too.
If this is a point in that case, why have we not got more people talking about it more seriously? Reg, let's come on to Reg. Here in his guise as a person who's you put a lot of money, there's no secret about that. You put, what, almost £1 million into researching all this?
No way. You believe the publicity, don't you?
I just quoting what I read. You didn't put any money into it,
probably
Reg, did you?
actually believe our government as well. But no, the thing is, most people have seen just one alien, and they've seen one alien cut up. In actual fact, there are 2 aliens. So whoever hoaxed the first one had to hoax a sister, because they're both female.
But why haven't we seen more on the film? Why haven't we seen there must have been some sort of clothing on them when they got them. There must have been something else.
Well, if you're dead, you're doing an autopsy. You don't wear clothes. But maybe earlier they had clothes on, but you don't do that when you're doing an autopsy.
Why are you so keen to find out? I mean, presumably beings from another world are far more advanced than us.
I just want to know the truth. I want to know the truth, because I want to know if we got neighbours. It's a simple thing to find out whether we've got neighbours.
Do you think the government know?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Why won't they tell the rest of the world if they know?
Started out in 1947 that they were a bit scared of our reaction. I think that they've been weaning us on science fiction for the last 50 years, and they are now ready to come up with something.
Peter?
Well, they've been weaning us on science fiction since about 1905, and the War of the Worlds and all of that.
39.
I don't think that's a particularly special argument. No. But there's nothing, I think, particularly special about the second film. In fact, the second film, from what I hear about it, is even less plausible than this one, because going back to the sterile environment, I was going to say that unless they're going to torch everything in which they did this particular autopsy, you wouldn't have all these telephones and safes and things like that. Now, the first film, as I understand it, has these people standing around cutting up an alien body in a tent with oil lamps. How the hell do you see what you're doing?
There are 3 then. If you believe the first one, there's 3 aliens.
Fine. I don't mind how many aliens there are. I don't even mind if one were to walk in and shake hands with us now, because I don't have a problem about that.
No.
What I have a problem about is the details in these films, which keep suggesting to me that somebody is setting it up. And they seem to have left clues so that you can have
What has a clock got to do with an alien?
It's got a lot to do with an autopsy and what may be the result of that autopsy.
The clock said 6 minutes past 10, not 10 past, like everybody's told everybody.
But let's forget about this little...
That's what I mean. You suggest the clock.
Let's forget about this. Let's try and dig up, because, Reg, there must be a reason. Why are you so concerned? And a number of other people, a lot of people, really want this proof. They want to know. These beings would let us know, surely, whatever governments think, if they wanted us to know they were there.
Would they? It all depends how they're getting on with our government.
But don't you think that they could, I don't know, their technology must be so advanced, they could sort of freeze government and wrap up the buildings and...
They could do, but maybe they're about 20 million years in advance of us, and they're not into actually making us do what they want to do. Maybe they're just looking at us to find out what we do.
How... You're assuming, again, you see, that there is really any evidence that anybody has come across an alien at all.
Well,
that is...
Roswell certainly have said
500 people at Roswell.
500 people in Roswell have been questioned 40-odd years after the event. Memory is not a videotape.
True.
That's one thing. Some of the largest claims are some of the most ridiculous.
I bet you can't even remember details of the video.
The local mortician...
You saw that yesterday.
Well, that's the point I'm making.
Okay,
that's right.
The thing is, though, is this an important video?
I think it's going to be. I would say that at the moment, I'm 90% sure that this is a true video. 90%. There's just a few little jigsaw puzzles just to put in there. I think we'll learn that later. But
what about the people, Reg? Final question. The debate will carry on, I'm sure. But final question. People have been sort of putting you up and writing about you in the papers in a way, you know, there's poor old Reg, he's got a few bob, he's got a bit cranky now, it's all that loud rock and roll when he was younger.
I don't need this kind of publicity.
Do you think that they're doing that to kind of spread misinformation, would you say?
They could be doing anything. I'm purely selfish. I want to know what's going down. But I'm not going to keep it to myself. I'm going to tell the world what I find out.
Reg, Colin and Peter, thank you very much indeed. We will have to look more closely. Thank you. The interesting thing is when you look out of your window on a clear night and you look at those thousands and thousands and thousands of stars out there and all the other planets around those stars, what is out there? I mean, we're all fascinated, let's be honest.